The first thing they told me when I stepped onto the royal vessel Ethera Prime was this: do not touch anything. The second thing they told me was far more interesting. You are here because you are the last option. That was never a comforting sentence. Not on Earth, not anywhere else in the galaxy. I adjusted the collar of my uniform, trying not to look as out of place as I felt. The corridor around me curved like a living organism, its walls glowing faintly with veins of soft blue light that pulsed in time with something deeper inside the ship. Not machinery, something biological. The alien guard escorting me stopped suddenly. He was tall, armored in layered plates that looked grown rather than forged, his face partially hidden beneath a smooth, bone-like mask. "We are here," he said. A massive door unfolded silently before us, and I walked into a room filled with death. Not literal death, but the kind that lingers, the kind that waits. At the center of the chamber, surrounded by a ring of glowing instruments and silent figures, lay the princess. She didn't look like what I expected. Not monstrous, not strange, beautiful. Her skin shimmered faintly like polished pearl. Her long silver hair spread across the surface beneath her like flowing light. Her chest rose and fell in shallow, uneven breaths. Too shallow, too slow. "She is failing," a voice said. I turned. The queen stood behind me, taller than the others, more composed, more dangerous. Her eyes locked onto mine. "You are the human," she said. "I am," I replied carefully. "You understand the situation?" "Not yet," I said, "but I will." A flicker of irritation crossed her face. "You will speak carefully," she said. "This is my daughter." "I figured," I said quietly. They led me closer. Every step felt heavier than the last. "Explain what has been done," I said. One of the royal scientists stepped forward. "We have attempted regeneration, cellular restoration, neural stabilization." "And none of it worked," I interrupted. The scientist stiffened. "No." I nodded slowly. "Then you're treating the symptoms," I said, "not the cause." The room went silent. "You presume much," the queen said coldly. "I always do," I replied. "That's why I'm here." I stepped up beside the princess, and that's when I felt it. Not something physical, something else. A faint pressure, a distortion. Like standing near a speaker playing a frequency just outside the range of hearing. "What happened to her?" I asked. The queen hesitated, then spoke. "She encountered something during a diplomatic expedition," she said. "An artifact." I closed my eyes briefly. "Of course she did," I muttered. Artifacts were never good news. "Describe it," I said. "No," the queen replied. I opened my eyes. "Then I can't help you." The tension in the room spiked instantly. Guards shifted, weapons hummed, but the queen didn't move. She studied me, long, carefully. Then she spoke again. "It was alive," she said. That got my attention. "Alive how?" "It responded to her," she said. "It changed when she touched it." "And then?" "She collapsed." I looked down at the princess again. The faint pressure I'd felt earlier was stronger now. "Everyone step back," I said. They didn't move. I looked at the queen. "If you want her to live," I said, "you're going to have to trust me." A long pause. Then, "Do as he says," she ordered. Reluctantly, the others backed away. I was alone with her. I took a slow breath, then reached out and touched her hand. The reaction was immediate. The room shook, the lights flickered, the instruments screamed, and her body arched suddenly, a sharp gasp tearing from her lips. "Stop!" someone shouted. But I didn't. because I finally understood. This wasn't a disease, it wasn't an injury, it was a connection.
The artifact hadn't harmed her. It had bonded with her. And now it was killing her because she couldn't handle it. But maybe I could. I tightened my grip on her hand and focused. "Easy," I whispered. "I've got you." The pressure surged, stronger, deeper. Suddenly, I wasn't in the room anymore. I was somewhere else. Dark, vast, endless. And I wasn't alone. Something was there, watching, waiting. It wasn't hostile, but it wasn't gentle either. "What are you?" I whispered. No words came back, only feeling, curiosity, confusion, hunger. It had reached out to the princess and taken too much. "You're killing her," I said. A pause, then realization. It hadn't meant to. It didn't understand. "You need to let go," I said. Resistance, not anger. Fear. It didn't want to be alone again. And that's when I understood something else. This thing wasn't just alive. It was lonely. I took a breath, then made a decision. "Take me instead," I said. The reaction was immediate. Shock, curiosity, hope. "You can't have both of us," I said. "She'll die." A long silence. Then, it agreed. I slammed back into my body. Pain exploded through me. Every nerve lit up, every thought fractured. I heard shouting, felt hands grabbing me, but I didn't let go because the pressure was moving, leaving her, coming into me. I gasped, collapsing to one knee, and then silence. The connection snapped. I fell forward. When I opened my eyes, everything was quiet. Too quiet. I pushed myself up slowly and saw her, the princess, sitting upright, alive. The room was frozen. No one moved. No one spoke. She's stable," one of the scientists whispered. I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. "Yeah," I said weakly. "I figured." Then the queen stepped forward. Her eyes were locked on her daughter, then on me. "What did you do?" she asked. I hesitated. "Traded places," I said. Her expression changed instantly. "What?" I forced a small smile. "Don't worry," I said. "I'm tougher than I look." But even as I said it, I could feel it, still there, watching. Days passed. The princess recovered quickly, stronger than before. But I was different. The connection hadn't disappeared. It had settled inside me. At first it was quiet, just a faint presence, a distant awareness. Then it started to change. I could feel things I shouldn't, understand things I couldn't explain. The crew noticed. They watched me differently, not with suspicion, with something else. Respect and fear. The princess came to see me on the 7th day. She stood in the doorway of my quarters, hesitant. "You saved me," she said softly. "Yeah," I replied. "Seems like it." She stepped closer. "What did you give up?" she asked. I looked at her, then shook my head. "Not what," I said. "Who?" Her eyes widened slightly. "You mean—" "It's still here," I said. A silence settled between us. Then she did something unexpected. She reached out and took my hand. The moment she did, she shivered just like before. But this time, she didn't collapse. She smiled. "It feels different," she whispered. "Yeah," I said. "It learned."
Weeks later, as the Aethera Prime prepared to depart, the Queen stood before me once more. "You have changed the course of our people," she said. "I just helped," I replied. "No," she said firmly. "You did more than that." She stepped closer. "You understood something we could not." I smiled faintly. "That's kind of our thing." A pause. Then, for the first time, she bowed her head, a gesture no one else in the room dared to imitate. "Thank you," she said. As I watched the stars stretch into light, leaving their world behind, I felt it again, that presence, no longer distant, no longer confused, aware. "You're still there," I murmured. A quiet response echoed in my mind. Not words, but something close enough. Not alone. I smiled. "Yeah," I said softly. "Neither am I."